accused of fostering exactly this kind of moral atmosphere, of demonizing their opponents, of whipping up the angry mob, of inciting wanton destruction. Some philosophers survey this landscape and conclude that we ought to be skeptical of the existence of evil. Evil seems to be an outdated concept, and a dangerous one at that. But should we, on the basis of these examples, rush to the conclusion that evil is not real? According to the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein, a common cause of philosophical disease is a one-sided diet. One nourishes one's thinking with only one kind of example. Consider an analogy. If you want to understand the nature of politics, but you focus only on Western liberal democracies, you will fail to grasp the distinctive features of monarchies, communist states, dictatorships, and so on. Similarly, if you want to understand the nature of music, it would be misleading to focus only on heavy metal and simply ignore classical symphonies, African drumming, jazz, and so on. When conducting a philosophical investigation, we are best able to gain knowledge by considering a diverse range of cases. Those who hope to understand the nature of evil by focusing only on fantasy, science fiction, and religious texts are consuming just this kind of one-sided diet. Instead of limiting our focus in this way, we should also look at the broad range of real-world scenarios in which ordinary people are inclined to use the word evil. Unfortunately, this is a grim task and is prone to induce disgust and despair. It is hard to think clearly about the worst moral transgressions in human history. Nonetheless, this is what we must do if we are to figure out what evil is supposed to be and whether it exists. After considering these examples, some of us might still conclude that there is no such thing as evil. It could turn out that people who believe in the existence of evil are falling into some kind of confusion, are exaggerating, or are mistakenly projecting onto the world something that, in reality, is not there. We should not prejudge the matter either way. Let us begin by taking note of what ordinary people say and what they believe about evil, and then we can move on to ask whether their claims and beliefs are correct. When we survey the wide range of cases in which people say that things are evil, we notice something quite surprising. Sometimes we use the word evil simply as a synonym for bad. When we do so, evil need not have any connotations of extremity. Just as there can be minor or trivial bad things, there can be minor or trivial evil things in this sense of the word. Suppose that you face a dilemma, and you have to choose between two bad options. You might explain your ultimate decision by saying that you chose the lesser of two evils. When you use the word evil in this way, you are not implying that both options were extreme and horrific. You are simply indicating that you chose the least bad of the two. When the word evil is being used merely as a synonym for bad, it can be applied to things that are blameworthy moral wrongs, such as malicious assaults, but it can also be applied to things that are bad without being immoral, including the pain that you suffer when you stub your toe. When we consult the Oxford English Dictionary to discover the etymology of the word evil, we see that it grew from the Old English word ifel, meaning over or beyond, and that for centuries the word evil was used simply as a synonym for bad, troublesome, and painful. These days, it might sound odd to use the word evil to mean nothing more than bad. A restaurant critic who gives a negative review is unlikely to say that the food was evil, for instance. Nonetheless, we can find contexts